So, cap theorem. Cap theorem says that consistency, availability, and partition tolerance, right? Consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. That's what cap theorem is. Partition tolerance is by default supported by all data stores. Cap theorem says out of these three things, only two things can happen at the same time. Since this is given 100%, out of these two, only one can happen at a time. If you are looking for consistency and partition tolerance, you will go for RDBMS. If you are looking for availability and partition tolerance, you will go for NoSQL databases. Some of the NoSQL database names, one is MongoDB, the next topic Hive, HBase is also a NoSQL database. Amazon equivalent of MongoDB is called DynamoDB. All these are examples for NoSQL databases. And we have seen so many examples using MongoDB. MongoDB has got the concept of a database. A database contains collections. A collection contains documents, and every document is a key value, right? When you write DB, automatically it will take the current database. When you write db.bytes, this is the collection name, right? You may not explicitly create bytes. If you have done the exercise, you know. You just write db.bytes, then from the db, it will create that collection, correct? And from that collection, you are going to do the operations on the top of it, and you will use Mongo, which is the client, to connect to Mongod, which is the server. So first you will start server, and then you will connect it, and you will get the prompt where you will type all your commands. Then I showed you Robo3T, correct? That's available in your shop ID. So you can download and you can install it, and you can connect to any server which is running, and then you get a GUI interface where you can type down all your commands and see the result yourself. Okay. Today we are going to see how will you create a report. It is a very useful tool, not only for MongoDB, you can use it for many purposes in your organization. It's completely free, and again it's available in shop IT and app stores and all those things, managed softwares and all. So you can easily install it, and it is free because there is no permission needed. And from there you can create that reporting. So the reporting tool that I am going to introduce, and we will be using this reporting tool for Hive as well. Okay. So let me open the browser. I'm not going to virtual machine now. Please listen. I will give you time. Maybe 1 hour we'll have this particular video session completed and recorded so that you can refer it later, and then I will help you do it. Okay. So if you are going to go to the browser and type BIRT and note down this particular thing anywhere. Okay. What is BIRT? It stands for Business Intelligence Reporting Tool. It is like SSRS, it is like Tableau, it is like Cognos or business objects, but not that big, costly, heavy, monolithic things. Like if you compare, Mahesh, the Informatica data quality tool with a waterline data kind of data quality tools, you know the difference, right? It is like that. So this is a kind of small tool, right? But it's sufficient for creating reports. If you are looking at very advanced visualizations, you need a kind of flash kind of nice UIs and all. The people go for Tableau and all, which is very, very costly softwares. But for 90% of the purposes, so many organizations are using it. Another thing you can try in the similar way is Jasper reports. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. Jasper reports, even it is used in SBI. Think Okay, it's open source. Okay, and you can use it, and you can get the support from that particular company as well. So Jasper Report is also a very nice open source tool. Okay, but we are looking at a BERT, and what is the advantage of BERT? BERT is created on the top of Eclipse, and you know Eclipse is the most widely used development platform in the world. Correct. So if you search for BERT and you look at that particular first hit that you get, BERT Home Eclipse, right? You can learn, you can study, you can download, and whenever you get some doubts, again use the forums, and then you can get the necessary help. So you will have to download this. Please don't do any downloads because I have brought everything inside the thumb drive. You don't have to, right? So this is what we are going to use, and what we are going to do, we are going to install MongoDB on your virtual machine. We are going to install BERT on your virtual machine, start MongoDB, put some documents into a collection, and then connect from BERT, create a report end to end, right? And later we will see it on Hive, etc., etc. Okay. Even if you remember your MongoDB, Hadoop applications where you created the output and we connected it from R. In the similar way, if you create a CSV file, you can use BERT to connect to it and create a report out of your MapReduce programs as well, right? So any of these things you can easily use, and in the organization also you can use. Why? Because I will show you when you are opening BERT, and if you want to connect to MongoDB, it will ask you the server name and all. So you give your server names, EDCL, blah, 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 and then give the port name, and assume that you raised a marketplace request to get your ID and password to that particular server for connecting to that collection, then you can connect it. Okay. Did you try MongoDB for your data quality? Not yet. You have to try that one, because see whether MongoDB is coming. If I'm there, I could have asked you every day, every hour. But unfortunately, I'm not there. That's why you are not doing. All right. So that is BERT. So what we need to do, okay? So please look at the initial step onwards. What I'm going to do is, on the desktop of local, I'm going to create a directory, okay, and let me call it as Mongo archive or something like that, because even if I lose my virtual machine, I have this available. So I'm going to rename it as Mongo archive, okay, and then use this. We are in trouble. So what we need to do, right? We need a USB. Yeah. So 1 minute. What we can do is, okay, let me do something. What I'm going to do is, I will open my Mac, and then I will connect from this machine to this Mac, and I will copy this particular data, which is exactly the same as what is there in this USB. So it's already there in this machine.
What Krishna is saying is, we can airdrop, we can like this.
Too much time. That's the problem.
No, it won't take too much time. So airdrop is really.
It will be faster than FileZilla. Because I'm using FileZilla to try.
Airdrop is usually very fast.
Leave it. It's very simple. Don't worry. Okay, so it's okay. I need to have the IP of this machine in order to do that. So what I'm going to do is, if I look at ifconfig on this machine, you don't worry about these steps when you are doing it. Why? Because I will give you this software. Okay, so is it connected with version bytes 5? Yes. The IP is 10.1.10.225. Okay, so I am going to open FileZilla. Please skip this step when you are using the thumb drive. Okay, this step of copying the data. Okay, so I'm going to connect to this. I will connect it SFTP slash slash sftp slash slash. I have to give the IP of this machine, which is 10.1.10.225, and give the username and password and click on connect. Yes. And what I'm going to do is in our desktop, right? We have created a folder. What's the name of the folder? Mongo archive, right? So go to the desktop, and inside the desktop, I have got a directory called Mongo archive. It is empty, and I'm going to go to the downloads folder here. And inside the downloads folder, I am going to have this things copied. Date modified, file type, delay last modified. Yeah, so there is 4 files. Okay, I will explain you each later. So I'm going to drag it to the left hand side, which means that I'm bringing back to my machine from that machine. Skip this step when you are at home and you are doing it, because what I am doing here I will give you in this thumb drive. Okay, and once everything is right, that bottom status screen will tell you whether it is successful or not. Perfect. So 4 files moved, so it is as if I have copied that, so you don't have to worry now. Now onwards, the next step onwards is very important. Okay, I'm going to use FileZilla, but this time I am going to connect from my local to the virtual machine, because I have to copy this to the virtual machine. So what is the IP of the virtual machine? You have to go here and you have to take the IP. It is 10.1.10.167. Okay, so I just write it down here, 10.1.10.167. We need this for many things in the future. So I am going to do this. I'm going to connect here SFTP 10.1.10.167, right? And what is the user ID and password? Cloudera and Cloudera. Right? And then click on Quick Connect. So abort the previous connection and click. 10.1.10.167. Is the IP correct? It is Cloudera and the password SFTP 10.1.10.167. Oh, it's not connecting. It is 10.1.10.157, I think. Yeah, 157, and click on Quick Connect. About previous connection, yes. So it is 157. All right. So we connected it. What happened? .157. Just do a ping 10.1.10.157. Yeah. Why it is not connected? Clear history. Clear Quick Connect bar. SFTP 10.1.10.157. You can also try. You should be able to connect.
I am not a bird, so not connected to any server.
Cloudera.
10.1.10.157.
Cloudera. Yeah. It should be able to. You should be able to connect. All right. And in the home/Cloudera, I am going to create a new directory. Okay. And let us call the same thing. Create directory. You can create a directory there itself. Right click and create directory and call it as MongoDB. Click OK. Go to that directory and copy all these 4 files to here. This is the step that you need to do, right? You need to get all the data into the virtual machine, right? Use FileZilla and do that, okay? Whatever you have on the left hand side, you will get it from this thumb drive. You copy it to your local machine. All right. So again, look at that successful transfers. Make sure that whatever files you have gotten successful transfers, 8. Why 8? 4 is the first one that I transferred and 4 is the current one that I transferred. For you, it will be only 4. Okay.
So I need FileZilla on my box, right, for this?
Absolutely. Okay, that is the first class we did it. Okay. Close. Close. And go to the terminal. Now, if you look at ls, you should have the MongoDB directory because you created it. And if you go to MongoDB directory, you should have all the 4 files. Again, in the future, whenever a new tool or anything is coming in, if you want to do something on the virtual machine, remember that in virtual machine, the version of Java is 1.7. All the latest softwares will be 1.8 compatible. So, often you may require to update your JVM to 1.8 for the purpose of running the new application, not permanently. Permanently, don't change it. Ever don't change the permanent virtual machine. Why? Because it is internally used by Cloudera, all the Hadoop and everything is working on 1.7, right? And there are so many soft links created internally. So, you can see that I have given the JDK also in that particular list. The reason is you will need to install this JDK to start your BERT. BERT supports only the latest version of Java. So I will show you how to do that. Okay. So MongoDB directory is containing this thing. And what I am going to do first is that we will install JDK, right? How will you install it? Inside this, you see in the MongoDB directory, you have the JDK file, right? And it is a tar.gz file. So how will you extract it? Tar xvzf. Why that z is coming? Because the file contains z extension. If there is no c extension, only tar extension, you won't use that word z. You will write only xvf. Okay, and then JDK. Let it extract everything. Anybody from where I got this JDK downloaded? Oracle Java and download Linux x86 64-bit version. Linux is the CentOS based implementation of the operating system. Now if you look at ls, you will see the JDK directory is created. Now I should be very careful. I am going to change the Java virtual machine to 1.8 on this terminal, not permanently. So if you change and follow my tutorial and then you close the terminal and open another terminal, what will be the Java version? 1.7. So make sure that whatever we are going to do are going to be continued on this. Basically starting BERT. MongoDB, you can start in any terminal. Why? Because is it dependent on Java? No. Are you getting me? So what I am going to do is, I am going to create a variable. You are very familiar with this command. We did it in MapReduce for libjars. When you wanted to do that PDF jar files, if you remember. So export, I am going to create Java underscore home as, what is the current directory? Anybody? /home /Cloudera /MongoDB JDK. This is the current JDK Java underscore home. Now I am going to write export path. Remember, path is the one which is going to take everything, right? So path. And what is the path? I want this Java home as the first path. Don't ever put the old path followed by this Java home. Why? When you put the first path, whatever is available first will come. And what is available first? JDK 1.7. So what is the existing one should come last. Your Java should come first. How will you refer to that variable? You should put a dollar and then write Java underscore home slash bin. Oh, sorry. Yeah, slash bin. Automatically it will be substituted when you click the tab key. So now this is going to take precedence over the existing path. Dollar path means take all the existing path and append it at the end. So even if JDK 1.7 is there in that path, it is coming last. What will be given preference? What comes first? And what is coming first? 1.8 is coming first. And now try, see the magic. This is what you should do whenever you want to have any change in your JVM. No, don't ever change it permanently. Permanently also you can change by going to the profile. But for this window, now Java is 1.8. And I am going to start my Eclipse BERT from this window, which means that Eclipse BERT will take with Java, 1.8 Java. So what's the next step? I have to extract this file, which is the BERT related file. And as you can see, there is no GC file, GC extension or TGC extension. So tar xvf eclipse .tar and allow it to execute. So when you look at this one, you will see that a directory is created. Why? Because I extracted it. Good. Now I am going to go to CD Eclipse. And if you look at ls, there is a file with a green color called Eclipse. This is the executable. It is like exe. And what I am going to do, got it? I am executing that Eclipse. So what will happen? In JDK 1.8, Eclipse BERT will be started. So your BERT is installed now successfully. Any step wrong, it will not work. And it is asking for a workspace. Don't take the default workspace. Why? If you look at the Cloudera home screen, you will see that there is an Eclipse provided by Cloudera as well. This will conflict. So to avoid that conflicting thing, I will give a name workplace 1 so that it takes a new one. Okay, and then click OK. You will see now the BERT screen will be opened. Leave it aside. I'm not going to do anything on this. So my installation is completed for BERT. What is the next step? MongoDB. Now we don't care about Java 8. So let us open a new window. Go to the same directory. And what you will see, there is a MongoDB file that you can see, but it is with a TGC extension. So tar xvcf and then MongoDB Linux, this particular file that we are going to give and extract it. Correct? Clear? So your MongoDB is also created. So look at that. Eclipse, JDK, MongoDB. Now I am going to go to CD MongoDB. But before going to MongoDB, if you remember, recollect, when we installed MongoDB on Windows or in Mac, at the time when you install it, told an error and then you corrected that error. How? data slash db has to be created. So since we know that very well, I am going to create a slash data. Remember, never create a data directory by writing mkdir data. If you write mkdir data, that data directory will be created here. I don't want that. I want the data directory to be created at the root level. And if you want to create something on the root level, what you need to do? Sudo mkdir. And what you need to write? Slash data. It is completely different from writing simply data. So you created the data directory. And now change the permission to make sure that everybody can write it, because since root has created it, now if you don't do anything, only root will be able to do anything. But what is our username? Cloudera. Root is different from Cloudera, right? So what you need to do? chmod minus capital R 777 slash data, and again you have to give sudo for this as well. So now the permissions are set. Now what is the next step? I am going to go to that data directory, right? So sudo cd slash data. Cd slash data. Yeah, cd slash data. And now I am going to create the next one. Again sudo mkdir. And what I need to create? Will I write slash db or just db? Just db. Why? Because already you are in the data directory. Okay. If you write slash db, what will happen? Slash data and slash db will be on the same level. Gone. Everything gone. Right. So mkdir db, and then again do the chmod on slash db as well. Not slash db, db as well. Okay. You want to check? Look at this. If I do an ls minus al, it will tell you the complete permissions. If you don't do that chmod, you will see only rw as the first three letters.
For the second one, we don't have all.
Yeah, everything is there.
On right is
Oh, that is dot. Don't worry about dot. Look at the two directories. What I want is the db directory. Look at the db directory. Okay? Dot and dot dot are parents. Don't worry about parents. You got everything? Now, clear? Go to cd. Go to cd MongoDB and go to your MongoDB directory. cd bin. And how will you start the server?
Already.
Mongo. Look at that. It is writing into slash data slash db. And since permissions and everything is correct, no problem. And you should get a message at the end telling that the server started and listening. Oh, it's not coming.
listening will get once client is.
It should give you 28017 listening. Look at that last line. So, MongoDB server is installed. What is the next step? We need MongoDB client, right? I'm opening a new window because you know it should be started in a new window. Otherwise, you should run the first process in the background. Since we didn't run it in the background, we are opening a new window. Go to MongoDB. Now, there is one problem. I am going to start Mongo. Remember, when you start Mongo, automatically it will be connected to the local host, that port, right? We have seen that in Windows. Since we are dealing with a virtual machine, the Cloudera virtual machine has got a name. So if you put localhost, it will not connect. You have to give the name of the machine. And anybody knows what is the name of the machine? quickstart.cloudera. You might have seen that in the browser and all. That is the name of the machine. If you want, I think hostname is the command to get what is the name of the host. See, quickstart.cloudera. So don't use localhost. So if you type Mongo, it will use localhost and it will not find it. Why? Because the machine name is quickstart.cloudera. So how will you connect using Mongo to a specific server name without localhost? That's why I have given you a mongo help.txt in the archive that I am giving. And if you look at this, you will see that this is the command that you should use. What is the meaning of this? I am connecting to this host at this particular port. And this is the default port. Are you understanding? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Mongo and I'm going to copy that one. And for the people who did not get a link, this is the direct link for getting the Linux version. Okay, that's why that one also I put. So right click and copy that. Okay, and come out. And what we are going to do is we are going to connect it. By the way, let us look at the server. Look at that. It is port 27017. Everything is absolutely perfect. So what we are going to do, we are going to go to the Mongo installation directory. Where is the MongoDB installation directory? Look at that. This is the directory name, right? This MongoDB is the parent directory that we created for keeping all the files. Okay. So if I go here, and then cd bin, and what I need to type, whatever I copied, which means that now I am connecting to that server. Let us minimize this if possible, and let us see the background so that when it is connecting, let us see this server, this below screen is the server, is it moving or not, by showing that one client connected, right? Yes. So you installed MongoDB, you installed the server, client, and BERT. Next step is we have to insert the data, and I have given you the material. Let us create a database. How will you create a database? If you look at show DBs, it will tell you what are the databases available. Nothing is available. Use, that is the command. And I am going to give the name of the database as Passion. See, switch to DB Passion. If you want, you can create a collection by writing db.create collection. But I told you that is optional. When you write db.bytes, automatically what will be the name of the collection? Bytes will be the name of the collection. So to check that, what I'm going to do is, I'm opening a new window, and if you look at the MongoDB directory, there is one more file that I have given you. And the name of the file is, it is not mongohelp.txt.
We can delete the tar files.
Yeah, we can delete the tar files. I think there was another file, mongo insert.txt. So just give me a minute. I forgot one file. I have to bring that particular file as well. So again, what I'll do, I'll go to FileZilla. I have to connect to my machine and then bring that particular file. So 1 minute. So go to FileZilla, right? You don't have to do that. Instead of 4 files, you will have 5 files. Okay, it is already there in the thumb drive. So let us open FileZilla and connect to my machine first and bring that particular file. My machine is 10.1.10.225 SFTP, and the username is Cloudera, and the password is, not Cloudera. I am connecting to my machine. Be careful. It will be my password. And then click on connect. And then click on OK. And go to the downloads. mongoinsert.txt. See, I missed that file. So mongoinsert.txt, I am bringing first it to the local machine. And once I have it in the local machine, I am going to connect to what? The Cloudera virtual machine, which is 10.1.10.57, and the password it is asking, give Cloudera, and then about the previous connection, and now you will see Cloudera virtual machine, and you created a MongoDB directory. Go inside MongoDB and double click this, so that MongoDB insert is already gone on, right? All right. Now, click that. And now if you look at ls, you will see the Mongo insert.txt is there. And the whole purpose of Mongo insert is whatever material I have given you, I just made it into a text form. And I'm going to copy that. What's the best way? The best way is, I think, using a text edit in order to open this. So, VirtualBox, applications, accessories, gedit text editor, and open and go to your desk home/Cloudera and go to MongoDB and insert the MongoDB. Mongo insert.txt is there. See, control A, no, search. Let us, this is very easy to copy. In the VI, the problem is it will take that status bar and all those things. Copy and come back to your MongoDB prompt. This is the prompt. Right click, paste. How will you check whether it is created or not? db.bytes.find. Very good. The data is created, and you know that the ID for every field is automatically created by MongoDB. All this we have seen. What's the next step? Our BERT is running now, right? And please look from here onwards. Close the welcome screen. I'm maximizing it. This is Eclipse. Unfortunately, whenever you start Eclipse, by default, Eclipse expects that you are a Java programmer and you are going to write Java programs. How will you know that? Look at the top bar. Java EE. But your purpose of downloading Eclipse and installing is for reporting, correct? So reporting is a different view in Eclipse. It's called perspectives in Eclipse. So currently, what is the perspective that you have? Java EE is the perspective. You need to change the perspective to a reporting perspective in order to start doing reports. How will you do that? Go to window, this window, Eclipse window, and then perspective, and you check whether there is a perspective available. No. So click open perspective. And in the open perspective, you will see Java, JPA, platform architecture, resourcing, web, etc. are there because they're all expecting that you are writing Java code. But you are not writing a Java code. So select other. And when you select, now you will see report design. Look at the features. Anything that you can select. And your Eclipse will get accommodated into that perspective, which will allow you to write all these things. And this is the report design. Now, a word of innovation here. Assume that in your organization, you want to create a metadata lineage tool of yourself. What you will do? You will create a perspective and you will add it into the list of perspective so that it will tell you Citibank metadata tool or Florida Blue metadata tool. So that you will select that and it will become that window that you create. That is how Teradata, SQL developer, all these people have created the UI, even Informatica as well. And that is how you create UIs using Eclipse. So these BERT people have created that already for you. So, right. I think that Siri or that thing got on by some of the words that I told. Okay, report design and click on OK. And once you click OK, now you see that change that happened and now it is report design. And what I'm going to do now, anything that you're going to do in Eclipse, the first step is creating a project. Whether it is a Java program, Java enterprise program, report. So click project. And now it is asking you, hey, what kind of project you are creating? Look at this. Second one, business intelligence and reporting tools. Select that report project. That's what I'm going to do. Next, project name. I'm going to give the project name as sample. Finish. So what is the first step? Created a project, and that project name will come at this point, right? That left side screen that you are seeing. Here, can you see? Sample. Once the project is created, what is the next step? You create reports. You can create thousands of reports and attach to that project. So, create new report. This time, don't select project. Create a report. And you cannot create a report without selecting the project name. So, I'm going to select the project name as sample because that is the one we created. And give a name of your report. What is the name that you want? Let's say demo report. Oh, sorry. Demo report. And don't click on finish. Click on next. You want this? You want this? Look at the features. I want a simple listing report. Click finish. Everything will change now. See, you got a reporting window now. And on the left hand side, you will see graphic text, color, adding the logo of the company and everything. I'm not interested in these things. On the top, you will see a palette. By default, this palette is open. Palette will allow you to drag and drop the tools onto the right hand side. What we are interested in is creating a data source because now you want to connect to the data. So click on that middle one. Look at this. You can see only day and you can see it is showing you Data Explorer. Click on the Data Explorer and you will see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. Select the first one, which is a data source. Right click, new data source. And what is a new data source that you want? Look at the features. Cassandra, Excel, flat file, Hive, JDBC, MongoDB. Select that MongoDB data source. Next. What is the server port? Quickstart.cloudera. You already know the name of the host. Database name. What is the name of the database that we created? Passion. Collection is bytes. No username and password. In the organization, you will have the username and password. Test connection. Ping succeeded. Finish. You created a data source. Nothing happened. You created a data source. Now, your data source may contain 10 tables. One is for diamond, one is for provider, one is for something else, right? So what is the next step? From the data source, you have to select what are the things that you need. How will you do that? Data sets. Very similar to all the other tools. Right click, new data set, and select your data source because you already created the data source. All options. Next. It is asking you what is the collection name. Click on this arrow button. There you go. Bytes is the name of the collection. Because you already gave Passion as your database name. And when you select bytes, see what is happening. Look at the screen. All the data came in. So I'm going to select first, last, date of birth, gender, and occupation. Move it to the right hand side. Occupation also. Move to the right hand side. I don't need nationality. I don't want ID. Just example. Click finish. You want to apply any function like combine first time and last name or convert it to uppercase or apply some mathematical function to calculate interest or something like that. You can do all those things. Click OK. So what will happen? Under the data set, you will see whatever you selected is coming in. Now I am going to drag that to the report on the right hand side. It is not clearly visible. Actually, it is a table with 3 rows. If you look at my screen, you can see here 1, 2, 3 rows will be there. It is not visible there, right? What you need to do is don't drag it to the top row. Top row is for heading. The data should come in the middle row. So I am going to do that carefully. Date of birth. Okay, first let us put the first name. So first name, I am going to drag it carefully to the middle row. Leave it. And then the last name, I am going to drag it to the middle row. Leave it. And then the gender, or let us say occupation. Okay, I am going to add it. And then the gender, let us add it as the last column. You can keep on adding the columns and all. See, all middle. Now we are going to run the report. There is a problem. When I run, open the web viewer, RStudio will start. Why? Because, there is a file association. Whenever you are starting something in Windows, if the extension is .doc, what will be opening? Word will be opening, right, in Windows? Like that, when you install RStudio, all file associations are with RStudio. So, unfortunately, whenever you start any of these things, it will open RStudio. I don't want that. For that, what you will do is, go to this window and go to Preferences and go to General, and you will see there is something called a web browser, and create new and call this name as Firefox. Location, browse, go to the file system. I think it is there in the user share, because I want to configure the Firefox browser. So go to user, and I think it is there in share. Is it on share? We have to do a little bit of experiment here. User, I think it is lib64. No. User share. It will be called as Firefox. I don't see Firefox. Can you just find out where is Firefox in the virtual machine? It will be inside user, somewhere in the user. User local bin, no. User local share, no. Okay, applications, no. User lib. User, forgot where it is. User local Firefox and select firefox.exe. There is no exe in Windows. Firefox.sh. You will see with a diamond symbol. Click OK. And parameter Firefox. Okay, to find out the parameter, what you need to do, right click this Firefox, this thing, properties, Firefox %u, copy that, copy, close, paste that one. That is the way to run it. Okay, paste, click OK. Good, you created Firefox, and make that Firefox as your default browser. Now you overridden what RStudio has done. Click apply, click OK. Right? Let's close this browser so that it will start a new window. Now we are ready to run the report. View report in a web browser. Run. It's not starting. Workspace. Firefox is already running. Okay. View report. Yeah. And if you look at the BERT report viewer, you should see all the data as a report. Clear?
So is BERT the preferred reporting tool when going against